I appreciate Francis throwing this shindig so that I could come and talk to you all. I think what I'll do is just say a few words and then answer questions, if that's okay. Last Saturday I went to the Tacoma Gay Pride event, and they had me listed on the program as a green politician. And so I looked at that and I thought, well, it doesn't really fit, you know, because I'm many things. I'm a college professor, I'm a historian, I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm the guardian of two incredible dogs, about a dozen squirrels, and several hundred birds that visit my yard every day. A politician is pretty far down on the list of things I am, and I'm a person who, when I say something, I say it from conviction, from my belief, from my ideology, and it's not something that I say lightly, and I intend to back up what I say. You can look at my website, and maybe that comes through, that quality comes through on my website. So, for instance, if I said I was going to vote to filibuster FISA, I would have filibustered FISA. I would have done it anyway. It's a horrible, horrible assault on the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. Patriot Acts 1 and 2, horrible assault on the Constitution. The Military Commissions Act. The Military Commissions Act removed habeas corpus from this incredible document. Here it is, the Constitution of the United States. Those two words are written into the body of the Constitution, protecting our right to demand that our accusers bring us in front of a judge. And these Republicans and Democrats and this Bush White House had the audacity to strip habeas corpus from our Constitution. That's the Military Commissions Act. You know, there's another one that's out there now too, called the Homegrown Terrorism Act. If you haven't heard about that, be very afraid. This is hearkening back to McCarthyism and the HUAC, House Committee on Un-American Activities. You know, you remember, well, maybe you don't remember, but some of you do remember that HUAC sent out, they took road trips to find people and accuse them, bring them before their committee, subpoena them and accuse them. We had our own little version of that in Washington called the Canwell Commission. In fact, the University of Washington has the distinction of being the first college in the United States to assault professors and fire them for their beliefs during the Cold War period. But anyway, this Homegrown Terrorism Act, they're going to send out a circus to subpoena people all around the country and ask them about their ideas. What do people believe? And then they're going to take this information back to Washington, D.C., and they're going to write legislation to lock people away for their ideas. I never would have voted for those things. Our current congressman voted for all of those things. When I am a member of Congress, I'm going to be working to change that. I would vote to repeal all of those acts. The Homegrown Terrorism Act, the Military Commissions Act, Patriot Act 1 and 2, and this FISA, this recent FISA legislation. They all have to go if we're to get back some of the rights that they have tried to destroy here. Another reason that I'm not really a politician is that politicians and I have a difference about tables. Now, people like Nancy Pelosi and George Bush and Cheney and Steny Hoyer, Democratic leader in Congress, Harry Reid, they have these weird tables. So, for instance, their tables, for some reason, are not big enough to hold impeachment, to hold a discussion of impeachment. Impeachment is off their tables. Discussion about FISA legislation is off their tables. Securing the Constitution is off their tables. But what's on their tables, let's see, nuclear weapons, threats of wars are on their tables. The actual commission of wars are on their tables. The threats of wars. Do you remember a month or so, a couple months ago, I guess it is now, when Hillary Clinton said that the United States was going to obliterate Iran if Iran attacked Israel? That's a country of 78 million people. And Hillary Clinton said that the United States was going to obliterate Iran. I was appalled by that statement. I could not believe it. And she was not taken to task for that statement at all. Well, a couple of politicians. Dennis Kucinich was one. Dennis Kucinich is my kind of Democrat. I was a Democrat. I worked with Grays Harbor Democrats for years. I was on the executive board. I was a PCO. I edited the Grays Harbor County Democrats newsletter. I worked really hard for Grays Harbor County Democrats. But in 2006, I voted for Democrats. I did not vote for Norm Diggs. I couldn't vote for Norm Diggs. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution gives Congress the power to declare war. Not the president, not the judiciary, Congress. And Norm Diggs, and remember, the Democrats were in control of the Senate in 2002, in the fall of 2002. Norm Diggs voted to give away his prerogative and the prerogatives of the Congress of the United States so that George Bush could write. They wrote George Bush a blank check, just as a Democratic Congress did for Lyndon Johnson when they voted on the Gulf of Tonkin resolution. So when his Gulf of Tonkin moment came, Norm Diggs failed. He failed the test. He voted for giving George Bush a blank check for this war. $3 trillion this war is costing. 4,112 Americans, more than 1 million Iraqis dead. And the occupation goes on and on. And Norm Diggs has voted for every funding measure for the war. In 2006, when I voted for Democrats, I said I will give Democrats a year. They said they're going to end the war. And they didn't. They escalated the war, as I think you and I were talking about earlier. They escalated the war. This election is about who we are as a people and what our country stands for. It's about us. And that's really why I got in the race. I couldn't get in the race as a Democrat. The Green Party values most closely matched mine. And so that's why I'm running as a Green Party candidate.